Ayo, what is the word, Vault Hunters? Listen, they just released a massive update for Borderlands 4. Gearbox is cooking. They did their thing with this one. Let's talk about it. What up? Yo, it's your boy Grandpa Casual, and listen, they just released a beefy update just now. I'm talking about grade A Chuck. I'm talking about that southern drawl. Throw me a little bit of that A1 sauce. The update they just released is crazy. I'm talking about some most wanted fixes, stuff that people have really been complaining about and really been asking for within the community. It's all here, and I'm gonna break it down right here, right now. So if you're into Borderlands 4 tips, tricks, guys, all that cool stuff, then chill with your boy. Like, subscribe, watch another video, watch this one all the way through. Do me a favor. You know, I'm trying to grow this channel a little bit, so if you're down with that, consider liking and subscribing. Outside of that, man, let's just get into this huge list of stuff that they just changed. All right, for starters, we're going to start with the weekly activities here. So the weekly big encore boss has switched to a tougher variant of a different existing boss with an even more rewarding loot pool for those who take it on. The weekly wildcard mission has changed. These missions feature a guaranteed legendary drop that you can repeatedly earn for your ideal role. This is what's up. Let's get it. Maurice's black market vending machine has moved to another location, and it has changed its offering, so look around for that. And remember, while the location is the same, your vending machine items are different from other players, so ask around, see if someone has the item that you're looking for. You know, get in the whole community thing, talk to each other, you know, have some fun. Now let's talk about stability and performance. They address various instances of hitching, low FPS, and crashes. And I know this has been big on PC, man, since day one. This is the reason why people were really mad at Gearbox at the beginning. Because in the beginning, hitching was crazy. The FPS, dodo, crashes frequent. But now they addressed that, so I'm glad that they fixed that up. They also said that we are continuing to investigate and will make further improvements to stability and performance. So they ain't done. Wait. There is more. Also, they updated character animations for performance improvements. Graphics preset could now be set to high or very high when using run auto detect and visual menu. On Xbox, they corrected an issue where players would get a black screen after the vault symbol loading screen. They addressed rare issues of infinite loading screens during crossplay. They improved loading of characters and menus to reduce visible delays when entering character select. All right, so we got some PC changes, we got some console changes. This is great. Let's talk about rewards and progression now. All right, they addressed an issue where players could lose or be rewarded unintended extra skill points in multiplayer. I don't gonna lie, I wasn't mad at the extra skill points. I ain't gonna hold you. They addressed an issue that could prevent contract target enemies from consistently spawning. They updated Rep Kit Lifesteal Challenge to track lifesteal from any source. They prevented region discovery trophies / achievements from unlocking before discovering all areas. I wasn't too mad at that one either. You know, I'm getting the trophies early and all that. They prevented instances of unowned DLC content appearing in chests or in menus. That was kind of annoying because when I would get my gold keys from Randy from the shift codes, I would get like a legendary and it would have like this marker on it that says doesn't own DLC. It didn't stop me from using it, but it kind of made me feel bad, so I'm glad it's gone. Get that out of here. They improved clarity of DLC related warnings and reward availability. They addressed the reported issue where the reward center could stop working after claiming the gilded glory pack rewards. You see, I said gilded this time. I ain't say glided like I did in the last video. Thank you for correcting me in the comments. Thank you so much. Y'all be helping me out a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Moving on, reward center pop-up now correctly excludes already claimed cosmetics. They reduced sale prices on gilded glory pack gear and vending machines. They updated the break free pack reward bundle to redeem properly in all instances. Also, challenge timing has been updated so players can properly progress from UVH4 to UVH5 after completing the required wildcard mission. There was a point where people weren't getting the update. I seen updates that wasn't going from 2 to 3 and stuff like that, so hopefully they fix that too. They also said when ranking up in multiplayer, players that are not the host will not see the change to the UVH level, but they will be able to switch to the higher level. This will be addressed in an upcoming update, so I'm guessing that they're working on that. They updated class mods to prevent them from dropping with incorrect skill points. They removed the Echo log Maurice's log as a requirement for the challenge Kairos Speaks, and they added a note here for those not seeing the reward after this change. We will be addressing that in a future patch. Now let's move on to these Vault Hunter changes. Kicking it off with Harlow the Gravatar. Gravatar ground state capstone has been corrected to remove inaccurate verbiage about enemies taking reduced damage when they do do not. Gravitar Flux Generator no longer heals enemies with potential transference capstone. I'm glad that they fixed that, and I know the Harlow players out there are glad that they fixed that too, because that gotta be annoying. They updated Gravitar Accretion passive to consistently grant lifesteal to allies. They addressed various reported issues with Gravitar Unstable Energy Pocket created from Chroma Accelerator action skill. This includes instances where it would not disappear properly, convert to cryo damage, or split as intended with certain skill tree combinations. Skills that saw updates: Special Purpose Magnus Augment, the Shattering Light Capstone, QED passive, Break the Ice passive, Containment Breach Augment, and Eureka passive. Let's move on to Big Amon now, the Forge Knight. The Forge Knight Primal Surge passive now properly restores shield and ammo. The Forge Knight Firewall action skill has been adjusted, so Vengeance cannot be stored by Firewall before Scourge is active as intended. The Forge Knight Onslaughter Rocket Punch now collects more reliably with shielded enemies. Addressed a reported issue with Forge Knight Forge Axe not consistently seeking nearby enemies. I main Amon myself, so I'm glad that they got that Forge Knight out there and getting busy. Now, let's move on to Vex the Siren. They addressed a reported issue with Siren Grave Harvest Augment being triggered while Incarnate is not active. They addressed a reported issue with Siren Blight Attunement passive could occasionally fail to damage the Timekeeper. Damage caused by Siren Spirit Bomb passive now counts properly as companion damage and changes its color to match attuned element. In Rafa's real quick and easy, they addressed a reported issue preventing Exo Soldier Blowout passive from stacking properly when repeating action skills. That's all for the Vault Hunter changes. Now let's get into the gameplay. They addressed a reported issue in the Talk to Zadra mission where the objective could fail if players exited and relaunched mid-dialogue. They updated beam hit detection as it was causing beams not to be blocked properly. That is Forge Knight Forge Shield. Rep kits now consistently consume the correct amount of charges after activating Forge Knight Scourge action skill. This is great. They prevented Forge Knight from sliding at the end of Molten Slam. They addressed various reported instances of enemies getting stuck, and the impacted missions here are during Kill the Order Forces in the Fade Fields, his Val Sanctum mission, and a Lot to Process mission. They addressed reported desync issues observed with lightweight armature enemy movement in multiplayer. They updated Zadra's Lab fast travel unlock after discovery. Next up, we got the gear. Valdorf Atlan gun heavy weapon ordnance now properly targets Primordial guarding Inceptus. Queen's Rest pistols with daedalus ammo switcher license underbarrel now shoots the correct projectiles. Gear with short circuit augment now traces properly towards enemies instead of random directions. They addressed reported edge cases where interrupting reload could cause ammo desyncs that would prevent ammo from firing. Now let's talk about some of the gear balance changes. Hellwalker now always spawns with fire element. Tedio weapons got a boost. They got a plus 10 damage and a plus 10 magazine size. The Order pistol Lucky Clover rocket reload has an increased fire rate now. And the Order sniper rifle Fisheye has increased damage. Let's move on to UI and UX. They updated gear thumbnails in cases where they did not display properly and ensured stand-in thumbnails load properly. They updated various UI visuals for alignment, consistency, and clarity. They adjusted inventory drop-down menus to prevent unintended selected changes, added D-pad navigation support to the reward center and improved handling of the inventory overflow message, prevented matchmaking menu hint bar from displaying incorrect prompts when joining another player's game, addressed compass occasionally displaying incorrect location of name after teleporting, updated localization and various text descriptions across the game, added various improvements to compass, custom waypoint placement, and echolocation. One change that I wish that they would have made here is that when you're checking out your inventory, when you're going through like the filters and you want to filter by manufacturer or type or damage and stuff like that, whenever you go out of the menu and you come back, it's always changed back to manufacturer by default. I kind of want to keep it on whatever I have it on. Like if I want to have it on type, or if I want to have it on damage, or if I want to have it on level or rarity or something like that, I want to keep it that way every time I come back without having to change that every single time. But I'll take what I could get for now, so I ain't mad at it. Moving on to visuals. They address carryable objects disappearing or appearing in the wrong location after being picked up. This includes cases in Ready to Blow, Lost Capsule, and Hangover Helper mission. They improved triggering of armor segment break VFX when shield capacity effects expire. They updated NPC and enemy pathing. Hopefully that makes the enemies a lot smarter and a lot better at flanking you. They addressed VFX concerns with various weapons, vehicles, and elemental states. They did various visual updates and improvements. They adjusted Rift Portal effect to correct the visuals. They updated Echo 4 to have correct positioning when viewing various menus and preventing clipping. Ambient critters have more natural spawn behavior. Next we have audio. DJs in Carcadia Burn and Fate Fields now play their voiceover when starting or completing contracts. They adjusted radio music mix for improved audiability. They added missing audio for multiple weapons types, customization, and menu navigation. They reduced instances of voiceover cutting out during missions. They updated startup movies to have correct audio. As far as settings and accessibility go, this is a huge one. This is a massive one. Xbox and PlayStation enable field of view slider on console. There has been so many requests for this. We have asked for this since day one. We felt like it should have dropped with this on day one. I'm glad that it's here. Better late than never. Thank you, Gearbox. They added a note here with that. It said increasing the FOV past the default could cause some dips in performance. So I guess that's a little risk and reward there. And vehicle field of view settings will now be changed for both users when playing in split screen. And on top of that, they have some miscellaneous stuff here. And that pretty much wraps up this new update. This is a massive update with some much asked for changes. I'm so glad that they added the FOV slider. This is going to change everything when it comes to gameplay on console. I am very happy. I am very satisfied with this update, and shout out to Gearbox, bro. Y'all did y'all thing with this one, man. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments how you liking the update. Is this update enough for you? Do you have more? Do you think other things should be changed? Let me know. I'm always down to have conversations with you all. And if this was helpful, I'm hoping that it was. If it was, consider liking and subscribing. And with that said, be safe out there, because you know, like I know, Kairos gets crazy. Let's get it.